What's going on, guys? It's Sam, and today I'm going to show you my desk setup as well as 4 tips for YouTuber desk setups.
That's good.
Alright, so my first tip is the recording desk setup. Now you guys can see exactly how I'm recording this. So basically I have a good monitor on this desk right underneath the camera. I also have good lighting right behind the camera. I have 2 separate lights. One is a white light, one is a warm light. And the balance of the two kind of make it seem like it's outside. It's important to have a good microphone too, so I have that set up just right here on the lens. I have an interesting background. I mean, I put a lot of work into this background. I put those shelves up, I've got these sound panels, and also I've got my editing desk behind me, which I'll dive more into later. But ultimately, having a desk specifically built for recording is pretty awesome, especially if you want to make a bunch of videos on the fly all the time. You could just sit here, plug everything in, hit the record button, and get going. I mean, that's exactly what I did today. So also I have camera recommendations too. I totally recommend the Sony Alpha 6600. That's what I'm using right now. It's incredible. So I'll leave all my recommendations for equipment down in the description below for you to check out. All right, next I want to show you guys my editing desk setup. It's right behind me because I'm at my recording desk, right? So you can see my editing desk. That's actually my desk that I just work on in general. It's my main desk. My recording desk I strictly use for recording. I never really use it for anything else. And my recording desk also includes my computer on it. And so I have wires that are running on the ground all the way to the desk behind me because I like to have some top-notch cable management. At your editing desk, you have to make sure you have your ideal keyboard, one that you've always wanted. I have the Logitech Craft keyboard. I'll put a link to that in the description as well so you can check it out. And then also your ideal mouse. I recommend a mouse. You can also get like, let's say you're using a Mac, you can get one of those Magic touchpads. They're amazing. They're, you know, some people argue they're better than a mouse, and I think they have a good argument, but I still think mouse has the highest capabilities. I also have like wrist pads on my editing desk because I want to set it up to be as ergonomic as possible. I have my monitor. I just bought that monitor. It's brand new. It's a 38-inch widescreen curved monitor. I love it. I also love to play games, so that's why I got that as well. But it's perfect for editing because it really stretches out the timeline, makes it a lot easier to see the entire project that you're building in Premiere Pro. And then I also have some solid speakers. There's a little subwoofer underneath the desk too. And I'm not trying to blast bass to bother my neighbors, but I do want to have the highest quality sound I could possibly have if I need to test something out, whether it be a brand new creative video that I just created and the music has to not be louder than maybe the narration or something like that. It's great for quality control. Okay, next I want to talk about ergonomics, okay? So by ergonomics, I mean, how can you be as healthy as you can possibly be while working for hours and hours on end? So first I want to talk about windows, okay? So at my recording desk, I do have a window that's like right here. It's currently 4 o'clock and the sun is gonna set. So if the sun sets while you're recording, it kind of screws up your lighting. So I had to close my curtains. But ideally you want to record during the day and you want to have the window shooting at your face. You don't want to have a window behind you or to the side of you, ideally if you're recording. Now it's different if you're editing. When you're editing or like you're just at your desk doing emails or anything like that. This goes for anyone, you know, that has a desk setup. Ideally, you don't want to have a window in front or behind you because it causes either glare or the window is just in your eyes all day if it's in front of you. So you want it on the sides of you so that you don't have any direct sunlight that's bouncing off the screen or shooting directly into your eyes while you're focusing. It'll really help avoid some headaches. And then the ideal desk position, the ideal sitting position is you want to have your monitor like while you're sitting comfortably in your seat. So first set up your seat, sit comfortably, and then have your monitor lined up with your eyes. So the top of the monitor has to line up exactly with your eyeballs so that there's just like a slight look down, like that's how you want to set up your desk. And it's healthy so you don't have to look up or you don't have to look too far down. It's just kind of right there in a perfect sweet spot of your view. And then along with that, you don't want to reach for your mouse or keyboard. And you also want to have a 90-degree angle with your elbows. So if you're sitting, like this desk that I'm sitting at isn't perfect, because in order for me to be at the right height for my camera, my chair has to be at a certain height. Ideally, if I wanted to work at this desk, I want my chair to be higher so that I have that 90 degrees with my elbows. And also, I want to make sure that I'm not reaching for my mouse or keyboard. I can sit back in my chair comfortably, and then I can just have my arms resting, and I don't feel like I'm reaching for anything. And then those wrist pads are really nice too, because you don't have to lay your wrists down on your desk. And also it keeps them at a level playing field. So like, instead of having your wrist like that or your wrist like that while you're typing, it keeps them at a level playing field so that you could just type and move your mouse like this, and you don't get any wrist pain after editing for 4, 6, 20 million hours in a row. And then the last thing I want to talk about is your environment. So the environment is key. You want to make sure that you include some plants. I got 2 plants behind me. They got names. The one in the back is Bambi, and the one right here is Fitz. Fitz gets all the shine in the videos because he's closer. It's Monstera, and it's a lovely plant. I also have a moss wall off to my side, which is in the peripherals of my editing desk. While you're working, it's important to have greenery around you, especially greenery that you could see while you're looking at your monitor. Like, you don't have to look at it, but as long as it's in your peripherals, it kind of balances out all of the colors and the lights that are in your view while you're working for a while. You don't want to stare at your monitor with just a blank wall behind it. It kind of really just only allows for the monitor's light to be shooting directly into your eyes, which is not healthy over a prolonged period of time. It's also important, if we're keeping peripherals in mind, to have a lack of clutter. You don't want to have too much stuff on your desk. You can have plenty of stuff on your desk, but make sure it's out of your peripherals, okay? Hopefully you have a large desk and you can just put a pile of stuff off to the right or off to the left. That's what I do. You want to make sure you don't have clutter in your peripherals, because it kind of gets your brain running subconsciously, because your subconscious runs 90% of your brain. Like 10% of the time, like if you're conscious right now and you're thinking right now, like that's only 10% of your actual brain usage. So you want to make sure that you're taking care of your subconscious, which is picking up on all these things like clutter in the view while you're looking at your screen while sitting at your desk. You also want to make sure it's quiet, of course, and also be mindful of your neighbors if you're making too much noise. You want to have some headphones that can also help with keeping things quiet. You can really zone in. And then also make sure the room is spacious. Make sure you're not cramped in a corner. You know, make sure your desk isn't in the same room as like your living room or your bedroom. I know that's not, possible for a lot of YouTubers that are starting. A lot of YouTubers just live in apartments and they can only do with the space what they can. But I think it's important, like even if you have to put your desk in the living room, consider buying one of those like collapsible accordion walls or something like that, just to separate the idea of working at your desk versus living in your apartment. It's important to kind of have that separation. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. That's my desk setup and my 4 desk setups for YouTubers. So yeah, make sure you have a recording desk, an editing desk. Those are 2 dedicated desks. Okay, you might have to buy another little one, because my recording desk is just a small little like 2.5 foot by 2.5 foot standing desk. It was like $100 on Amazon. So you can just go the simple route like me, and have those 2 desks, and then make sure your ergonomics are on point, and then have a great environment around you. Okay? If you guys have any questions, just go ahead and leave it in the comments below, or send me a DM on Instagram. I respond all the time. I usually respond very quickly on Instagram, so if you need any help, just follow me at ParEdits. And the last thing I want to leave you guys with is, which way? No, this way. My next video, which is all about my top 5 YouTuber editing PC tips, whether you have a Mac or PC. So go ahead and check that out. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Later.